What's up, YouTube? I am Z-Town Train, and this is just a basic dude vlog. Welcome to the third and final installment of our 100 subscriber special, talking about the bag of tricks. This is sort of a concept based in the idea of a Trapper's Possibles bag. So a Trapper's Possibles bag is a bag where you have some extra stuff that you need that you keep on you when you are doing things, even when you're doing activities and stuff. As opposed to like a bug out bag where it's a big pack with your stuff in it that you would grab on your way and do a bug out situation. This is more something that you would keep to use this stuff in it for a day that you were going out in the woods, or you were just going to do stuff. Going hiking, going to go see things just out in the wilderness. So this being our third and final installment of the 100 subscriber special, I wanted to start out with the big thank you again. Really stoked on how things have gone for the first 100 subscribers. I was really happy to get to this milestone, and I'm setting new goals for the channel. Setting new goals for the way that I make my videos and the stuff that we talk about as well. Willing to take suggestions on videos for things that we can look at. I'm really interested to hear what anybody has to say. If you see any items in the 3 videos that you would like to hear more about or have a video specifically on, say so in the comments and I will absolutely, we can get more specific with everything. This is just kind of a big thank you series of videos for people that subscribed, and for anyone that's coming to the channel to watch. Thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. So let's get into it. This is the final installment, and I forgot a pocket. Man, you know, for as long as I've had this bag put together, you would think that I would remember everything about it all the time, but when I'm in front of the camera, I try to keep things unscripted and genuine and kind of off the cuff, and I don't do really heavily scripted stuff. I try to keep everything the way that it is, the way that we just kind of talk about things, right? And I missed a pocket, so we're gonna do the small pocket first that I missed. If I can find it, there we go. Okay. So, the small pocket that I missed was this little guy right here on the front, this small flap. And I keep some really kind of important stuff in there, actually. So, what I have in there is I have an extra 9-volt battery for my secondary radio. I have a larger radio that I don't generally always carry in my pack that takes 9-volt battery. But sometimes he's in there, so I have an extra battery for him. You can also do a lot of other things with a 9-volt battery that it's easier to do. Power a small light bulb, start a fire. You can do all of those things with a 9-volt a little bit easier than you can with a AA or a AAA. I have some aluminum foil. Really handy for everything. You can make a bowl and cook in aluminum foil. You can do all kinds of different things, wrap things up to keep them fresh. There's a million different uses for a little bit of aluminum foil, not the least of which boiling water in a small aluminum foil bowl or something like that. So I have a small amount of aluminum foil that I keep with me in the bag, and it's just, there's multiple uses for it. And I know this is kind of weird to just kind of go through the stuff in it and not get super specific, but if you guys see anything that you want to hear more about, we can do a much more specific video about it. Tongue depressors. I keep these because they're handy for finger splints. In case you jam or break a finger, you can strap a finger to it, so there's a first aid reason to have these. I'm sure they could be useful for other things, but that's why I keep a couple in there, is in case you break or jam a finger. More aluminum foil, so I have 2 little batches of it. You can wrap all kinds of stuff up in there, and it's just really handy. Small first aid guide. So it's not really, it's an outdoor first aid guide. It's very basic, but it doesn't weigh very much. I know probably more about first aid than what the guide does, but it also doesn't hurt to have the guide at all. And if worse came to worse, I guess I could start a fire with it too. And that's the front pocket. That's the small front pocket. Some things I wanted to talk about that I would add in if I'm going out for the day or if I'm going out for even a longer period of time. I put in single serve instant coffee. I put a package of those Folgers Crystals on it, or energy drink powders. They have small packets of energy drink powders. I'll put a couple packages of those in the bag when I go on a trip, just in case I might need them. You know, a little caffeine to perk you up throughout the day, right? You don't want to be sleepy out there. All right, we are now getting into the big main pouch of my bag here, and I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest. We're coming up on the end of the 100 subscriber special, and now we're getting into some nitty gritty stuff, and some of it might be kind of funny. Something like these. These are travel toilet paper. These are Coughlin's camping toilet paper. Now, one thing that I despise is being caught out without any toilet paper. Can't stand it. Won't do it. So I keep 2 of these in the bag of tricks. These are, some of the stuff that's in here are not for survival uses. They are personal comfort and luxury items for hanging out outside. And one of those things is Coughlin's toilet paper. We might do a video on Coughlin's on-the-go toilet paper. This might happen, but that is very important. That is like one of the top 10, maybe top 6 important things in the bag. We have another package of waterproof matches that I just decided to leave in the plastic to make them even more kind of water, resistant, I suppose. These are the Coughlin's ones. I bought a bunch of these back in the day, so I haven't had to buy any more. They're dirt cheap, but they work great. Really nice wooden matches. You get those at hardware stores. An extra foldable bottle to carry water. I really like this type, where it is just a plastic envelope with a nozzle on it, basically. I like that they have eyelets to carry the water. You could put it on something around your neck even if you wanted to. Tie it up to a tree, hang it up somewhere in your camp. There are just a million things that you can use a bottle like this for. And carrying water in the wilderness is one of the harder things you will do if you do not have a dedicated container to carrying water. It is very important, and these ones are really wicked cool because they're foldable and go right in your bag, and they're just great. I really like these. They're not expensive, under $5. Carrying water from a clean source of water with you is difficult. Like, you can't, people are like, oh, we'll make a birch bark cup. Well, that's just not going to work to get from point A to point B. And you know what? There is no promise. There is no guarantee that you will find good, clean water in the wilderness or anywhere. Down here in Florida, it's almost a guarantee that you won't find good, clean water. It is a swampy, nasty mess on the freshwater area around where I'm at anyway. It is just a stinky, smelly swamp water. It's just not a thing. You're just not going to find clean water. You're going to get sick. There's a reason why malaria is called malaria. They thought that the air here was bad. Malaria, bad air. They thought that the air here was bad. They didn't know mosquitoes were giving them malaria. They thought this stinky, nasty water, the stink coming off of it, was what was making them sick. So, something really nice to carry clean water in. Get 2 if you can. Okay. We just talked about this bad boy, the UST Para hatchet. It turns out that the pros outweighed the cons for me. That's the kind of choice you have to make for yourself. I find that this light hatchet, while being a hatchet is not what it is great at, It is great for being a big knife and for cutting and for batoning something that you don't mind losing. Batoning something like this where it's less than $20 as opposed to a $50, $60, $80, $100 knife. I would rather beat this bad boy up batoning it than do any knife that I own, really. But I would rather baton that than any of that stuff to split wood with. Now, let's see. First aid. First aid kits are crazy important. I've been thinking about this a lot lately as we go through the bag, and what it really has come down to is small luxury items to make you more comfortable. My tent jumping off of a shelf. Small luxury items to make you more comfortable. Cordage, fire, shelter, first aid. And that's kind of what the bag comes down to, really. But this one's one where you're just carrying everything all at once in a smaller amount on you in case you lose your other stuff. You don't have your bug out bag. You don't have your campsite. You don't have your vehicle. This is what is on you. You have to run. You are being chased. You are attacked by a bear. I don't know. You at least have this bag of stuff. It might not be a large amount of stuff, but it's stuff that will keep you from dying is the idea. So we have first aid kit. I really like this one. Now, I make additions to everything. Nothing stands, especially a first aid kit for me. We have rubber gloves. I put an emergency space blanket in there. You didn't think you were going to get by on a survival pack with me without an emergency space blanket. In fact, there's probably going to be 2 or 3 involved. This is just this pack, the small pack. We have an emergency space blanket. Great for making shelter. Great for keeping the rain off you. Great for keeping you warm. Just handy, right? Bouillon cubes. You are not guaranteed food. And making a cup of warm bouillon is going to add salt back to your system after sweating all day. It's going to make you feel good because it tastes good and it's soupy and it's warm. So, bouillon cubes. A couple of bouillon cubes. You know, that might be the difference between you getting really crampy and sick from lack of salt and not. Bouillon cubes. This is where I keep water tablets. These are water purifier tablets. Be sure to read how to use them. How much do you need to put in a thing of water? But I keep a lot of these. I keep some of these in my vehicles. They are not the best thing for you. They are not the best way to purify water, I suppose. But it's better to have them than not have them. So water purifier tablets. I just pulled a piece of paper out of here that I didn't realize I had in here, and I want to know what it is. Oh. Ha. Okay. Look at this. 6/5/2021. 6/5/2021 is when I got this particular kit set up. I made a list of the things in the kit. This is something I really recommend that you do. I made a list of what is in this kit so that I can rotate the items out and make sure that it stays stocked. That's what that was all about. Around the purifier tablets is pressure wrap. This stuff does not come in first aid kits, generally speaking. It is stretchy pressure wrap. It's like athletic wrap. It can be the difference between bleeding a lot and bleeding a little. It works almost like a tourniquet. When you wrap a cut in it, it puts pressure on whatever's wounded. Very important. This is waxed nylon string. Original usage for waxed nylon string like this is in central offices to tie cabling, power cabling to cable ladder. It's called cable lacing, but this is some of the toughest, longest lasting, most brutal stuff I've ever used. It will cut through things. It is tough, double tough. I don't know how many strands it would take that I would bet my life on, but I would bet that a small amount of this would carry your weight. It is just very strong, very pliably waxed string made of nylon, and it is excellent, excellent stuff. Nope. Uh-oh. Needles, sewing needles, to stitch yourself up or to stitch up your clothes. This is ibuprofen and Tylenol. This is not all that I would have on me, but ibuprofen and Tylenol can make your day a lot better if you get headaches, if you hurt yourself. This is gonna make your day suck a lot less. Ibuprofen and Tylenol go in just a small amount, doesn't have to be a lot, because the whole idea of this is that this is the pack you have with you in case you get separated from your other stuff. Really, that's kind of the idea. Now there's all this, oh, I knew it. 2 space blankets, haha. Another emergency space blanket, make shelter, keep the rain off. In this one, I have matches because it's a zip tie bag, a Ziploc bag. And I wanted to put some matches in there. Obviously, you have all the stuff that goes with the normal first aid kit. You have gauze, you have butterfly bandages and Band-Aids. I added a pair of small steel scissors to cut things with. These weren't originally in the thing. Always, that's why I have the list. A lot of the stuff I add to a first aid kit. A lot of this stuff doesn't come with it. You add to it, right? This is the safety whistle I was talking about in the 4-function whistle video that you can put some paperwork in. That is what that is. I don't have paperwork in there. I guess if you find it in the woods or find me in the woods, we're paperwork free. I also added some Benadryls. This is in case I get bit by bugs or get into poison oak or get a nasty rash. These were not originally in the kit. They used to come in first aid kits. The same with Tylenol and ibuprofen. All that stuff used to come in first aid kits when you'd buy them, and they don't anymore. And that's just silly. I haven't seen a first aid kit that just had Benadryl in it in a long time. And it's required. An antihistamine in a first aid kit should be a requirement for you. And then we have all the antiseptic wipes. And we have bacitracin and more gauze. I added this small tool here into this. This is a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, and an awl that attach into the screwdriver handle. And I have multiple uses for those, not the least of which being if I break my glasses, for the small Phillips head to work with. So that is the first aid kit that was in there. I'm going to put all of this back into the first aid kit right when I'm done making the video, but I'm not going to torture you by making you watch me do that. Let's get back into the bag. Coughlin's fire starter tablets. Super handy. They're very small. They burn for a decent amount of time for their size. And you can use, these are actually camp stove fuel tablets. You should probably buy a camp stove to use with them, but I would just make the camp stove out of a can or a cup, or nothing, or just use it to light a campfire, which is perfect for. By the way, these are great for just lighting a campfire. So, fuel tablets for a Coughlin's mini stove. Wow. So, I have 3 emergency blankets, 3 space blankets in this pack. And there's so many different reasons why. I have a couple of kids. What if they needed a space blanket and in order to function and get everybody home, I have to not freeze to death. But in order to have people to get home, my wife and my kids can't freeze to death either, can they? So keep the water off of everybody, make shelter for everybody. Don't just think about me, but also think about people that I provide for, right? So I have 3 of those space blankets, and I'm gonna have to add a 4th one. I know I have one. I'm gonna have to add a 4th one. We'll need 4. There's 4 of us. I don't know what I was thinking why I did 3. Plastic or rubber tint repair kit. This is not just good for tint repair, although that is what it's designed for. You can repair your galoshes. You can repair a raincoat. You can repair all different kinds of stuff with this kit, and it is very handy and under 10 bucks. So I keep this in there. Some of the stuff you see with the packages, I keep them so that I have the directions, you know, or what's supposed to be in there. There isn't a lot in here. There's less. I'm surprised by how few things have the packaging. Normally, there's a lot more. But I use a lot of this stuff now too, so it rotates out, the packaging goes away. More and larger zip ties. We talked about these and how I feel that having some small, light, very tough, handy things that can just kind of take a quick place of cordage. If you can't tie a knot because your fingers are cold, maybe you'll be able to get a zip tie around. Okay. Check this out. This is what I was getting at. I am so glad. Okay, check it out. Energy drinks. These ones are the Walmart brand, and they're just a powder that you add to 16 ounces of water, and they just got a little kick to them to keep you going throughout a day, right? So I have, looks like 4 energy drinks in here, just in case, you know, you need to keep your spirits up, you need to keep your morale boosted, you need to keep your energy up throughout the day, and you might need an energy drink. They're sugar-free, but if I was in the woods, I'd rather have the sugar, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Folgers single-serving coffees. MREs that you get now, like if you get those emergency ration MREs, like Sopacos or Apacs, they don't have any coffee. They don't have any beverage of any kind. There's no coffee in those things anymore. And I don't know if they put coffee in the new MREs that they make, but I know in the emergency packs that are cheaper, the emergency meals they're packed like MREs, but they're cheaper. What do you do? I mean, like this is the Cheap Gear blog. This is just a basic do blog. Man, we do cheap stuff here, right? No coffee or any kind of beverage. Anyway, I need my coffee. So I have some packets of Folgers Crystals. These are dirt cheap. They are 7 for $1 in a box. 7 for $1. Throw them in your car. Throw them anywhere. I think they're very handy. And you have your coffee. We are, one more interior pocket. I know, I'm telling you, man, the amount of stuff that has come out of this bag over these 3 videos should blow your mind. This bag right here, the bag of tricks, is the TARDIS of day packs. It looks tiny, but I pack a big punch in there. I do. Now, if you check out this guy right here, this is a vinylized, on the inside of it is rubber for like your wallet or your cell phone or something. I will show you what I have in here. Okay, what do we got? Regular use Tylenol or ibuprofen, so I do not have to get into my first aid kit all the time for that. Those are emergency use in the first aid kit. These are just in case I have a headache throughout the day when we're doing something. I keep, this might make you laugh. Okay, this is a short, very short USB-C charger cable and a short, very short micro. I keep one of each depending on if I need to charge something. I have a small light set of the cables in my, emergency bag of tricks bag, right? The Possibles bag. In that little tiny pocket is one of our best friends. To get information, to keep your spirits up. The Wolverines in Red Dawn had their radio, and the chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall to get signals from Radio Free America in Red Dawn. So I have my mini emergency radio. He takes AAA batteries, and he's smaller than your hand. We did a whole video on him. He lives in that weatherproof pocket, and he hangs out in there all the time. That one stays with the pack. One of my pet peeves is dirty glasses. I have a microfiber cloth in there to clean my glasses with. Some of these are just luxury items. A small emery board, just to keep my nails from cutting me when I'm doing things in case they grow out a little bit too long. I can file them down and keep them from, you can make little cuts on your own hands if your fingernails get too long. And if you're stuck somewhere for a long period of time, maybe you're not getting to cut your nails, or maybe not cutting them well, or you're trimming them with a knife or something. So an emery board to keep that filed down. This Altoid tin is from back when I first started making my videos. And I used to watch a lot of other YouTubers that do survival gear, and they do Amazon survival kit reviews. And everyone like 5, 6, 7 years ago were really into micro survival kits. It got to be this huge trend because Coughlin has like a survival kit in a can. A couple different companies do that, small survival kits in a can and whatever. We did a review of one that made me so mad that I can't believe that I left the review up on my YouTube. And it was a UST product. But the Altoids tin, at first my idea was what I would do is try to make one of those micro survival kits. But then somewhere along the line, I decided that I didn't even want to mess with the idea of a micro survival kit in your pocket or whatever. And that if the stuff in my car and the stuff in the bag of tricks and the stuff in like a bug out bag or that I would have packed weren't enough, then a tiny Altoids tin in my pocket, it just seems really superfluous, and I just didn't like the idea. So you're gonna have to do something real heavy to me when we're out doing something like hiking or something like that. You're gonna have to do something pretty hardcore to get that bag off me. It straps on pretty good. It's got the strap that goes over your body and then one that goes around and clicks together. You might cut it off me if you knock me out, I suppose. But it's gonna hang on me if I fall down a cliff. It's gonna hang on me if I fall out of a tree. If I do lose it, I'm gonna have like a lighter and a knife in my pocket anyway. So I got away from the idea of a micro survival kit, but I did need a place to put extra matches. So that is a tin of extra wood matches with the strikers in the tin with it. And that is what is in the weatherproof part of the bag. Now, like I said, sometimes there are additions to and takeaways from the bag. Very rarely takeaways from, more often additions to. A bigger knife or a pistol or some food. Sometimes chocolate bars or Cliff Bars are great. Just things that aren't going to go bad, that are in a pocket you can stick in there when you're out on a hike. I've carried bottles of water in it. All kinds of different things. It's just such a handy pack. And I found that keeping everything in it the way that I do here in the bag of tricks makes me feel safe more than anything, is what it's really about. It's one additional layer for luxury items, for camping gear, for survival gear. It's just an extra layer of safety between you and whatever you have to go through. So that has been the 3-part series the bag of tricks for our 100 subscriber special. I hope that everyone enjoyed it. This will be the last time that I'm gonna, this is long form and crazy. It's not the last time, but this is a really long video. And I don't mind that. I hope that you guys enjoyed all of the Bag of Tricks videos. I really enjoy making videos. I love doing it. I don't mind that sometimes there are like no views. I just really like making the videos. If someone comes along and sees something that they need or information they need to know, I hope that they can get that from one of my videos. Anyhow, I am Z-Tone Train, and this is just a basic do vlog. And I'm out of here. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you again for 100 subscribers. Let's shoot this thing to the moon. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.